Hello, students of 11th class. Let me first introduce myself. I am Pardeep Kaul, lecturer in chemistry. And we will continue our unit, that is thermodynamics. Today's topic in thermodynamics is Gibbs free energy. We will discuss Gibbs free energy, then we will talk about the change in Gibbs free energy, and then we will discuss that how delta G means change in Gibbs free energy, how that can be used for predicting the spontaneity of a reaction. So before going to that, let me clear the concept of Gibbs free energy. So Gibbs free energy Gibbs free energy. Gibbs free energy is denoted by capital G. Now this concept, the concept of Gibbs free energy, was given by a scientist whose name is J. Willard Gibbs. J. Willard Gibbs was the scientist who gave the concept of Gibbs free energy. Now this concept, that the concept of Gibbs free energy, it is used for determining the spontaneity of reaction, that whether the reaction is spontaneous, non-spontaneous, or it may be in equilibrium. For that purpose we make use of Gibbs free energy. Now let us know what Gibbs free energy is. Gibbs free energy is basically, suppose we have a system. Now this is a system. It has certain amount of energy, many types of energy. For example, it may have kinetic energy, it may have rotational energy, it may have Coulombic energy, it may have potential energy. It can have many other types of energies present in it. The sum total of all these energies of this system is known as internal energy of the system. Now this internal energy, now what is the internal energy? It is the sum total of all types of energy associated with the system. Now out of this internal energy, some part of this energy that can be put for doing useful work. That means only some amount of this energy can be used for doing useful work. And that energy that is available for doing useful work is known as Gibbs free energy. Now we are in a position to define Gibbs free energy. What is Gibbs free energy now? It is the amount of, energy of a system, available for doing useful work, but there are certain conditions required, and the conditions are at constant temperature and pressure. At constant temperature and pressure. So this is the definition of Gibbs free energy. Let me once again come to the definition of Gibbs free energy. This is the amount of energy of a system available for doing useful work at constant temperature and pressure. Now mathematically, since I just told you that it is denoted by G, so G is equal to H minus Ts, the product of temperature and entropy. Here G is what? G is Gibbs free energy of the system. Gibbs free energy. H is the enthalpy of the system. T is temperature in kelvins. Temperature in kelvins. And then entropy. S is the entropy of the system. So mathematically G is equal to H minus Ts. Now this is a formula, this is a mathematical expression for determining G, that is Gibbs free energy. Now this G, that is Gibbs free energy, this is not useful for determining, for predicting the spontaneity of reaction. So now what is important? Important is delta G. Delta G is important for determining the spontaneity of reaction. So for that purpose, let us find delta G first. For that purpose, let me take, for example, a system. Suppose we have a system 1 and suppose it changes to system 2. This is system 1, this is system 2. Let us find G for system 1. For system 1, G will be equal to G1 minus H1 minus TS1. G equal to H1 minus TS1. This is for system 1. For system 2, Gibbs free energy will be equal to G2 equal to H2 minus TS2. Now let me subtract this from this so that we get delta G, that is change in Gibbs free energy. Now how we can determine change in Gibbs free energy? It can be determined by subtracting initial Gibbs free energy from final Gibbs free energy. That is like this. This is final Gibbs free energy minus initial Gibbs free energy. G2 minus G1, that will be given by this H2 minus TS2 rather, minus H1 minus TS2. Now if we further solve this, what we get? G2 minus G1 will be equal to delta G, that is change in Gibbs free energy. Now if we solve this, we will get H2, this is H1, H2 minus H1 minus T S2 minus S1. Rearranging this equation. If we further solve it, we will get delta G equal to H2 minus H1. Final enthalpy minus initial enthalpy will be change in enthalpy. That is delta H. So we have got delta H minus T S2 minus S1. Final entropy minus initial entropy, that is delta S. So we have got this equation now. Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. This equation is known as Gibbs Helmholtz equation, after the name of the scientist, that is Gibbs, J. Willard Gibbs. He gave this concept, that is why this equation is known as Gibbs Helmholtz equation. Now as far as the unit of delta G is concerned, since G is basically energy, Gibbs free energy, so it will have the same unit as that of energy. So the unit of delta G is joules, or the bigger unit will be kilojoules. Now let us move to the concept that how delta G is used for predicting the spontaneity of reaction. For that purpose, for determining spontaneity of a reaction, let us consider Let us consider a non-isolated system. Non-isolated system. If we have a non-isolated system, for this system, as per second law of thermodynamics, delta S total is equal to delta S system as per entropy system plus delta S surroundings at constant temperature and pressure. Conditions are there. T and P are constant. So, according to second law of thermodynamics, delta S total is equal to delta S system plus delta S surrounding. Let this be equation 1. Now, let us suppose that some amount of energy is lost by the surrounding. Let surroundings lose energy, and energy is lost by the surrounding. That means system has gained the same amount. So if surroundings lose the energy and that energy is gained by the system, then the surroundings, the entropy of the surrounding will be delta S surrounding will be because surroundings have lost energy, that will be given by negative of delta H upon T. Why negative? Because energy has been lost by the surroundings. So your delta S surroundings will be equal to negative of enthalpy change upon temperature. Now let us put this value, that is delta S surrounding, in equation first. Substituting delta S surroundings in equation 1, we get, equation 1 is this is the equation 1. In equation 1 we will put the value of delta S surrounding and let us see what we get. We will get delta S total equal to delta S system minus delta H upon T. Now let us multiply this equation by T. Multiplying this equation by T on both sides. What we get? We will get T delta S total equal to T delta S system minus delta H, because if we multiply by T, this T will go and it will remain minus delta H. Now this will lead to T delta S total equal to T delta S, rather we will multiply this equation by negative, so we will get negative of T delta S total equal to delta H, because if we multiply this minus by minus it will get plus T delta H and it will become minus, that is T delta S total system rather. But as per Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, we know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. This is Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. From this equation we know this. Now then delta G will be equal to, because this is delta H minus T delta system, so it will be equal to delta G will be equal to now delta, that is negative delta S total. Now what we have found? We have found that delta G has come to negative. Now delta G is equal to negative. So this sign of delta G, it predicts the spontaneity of reaction. If delta G is negative, that means the reaction is spontaneous. Now delta G, if delta G is negative, always remember that the reaction is spontaneous. Reaction is spontaneous. That is when delta G is negative. But if delta G is positive, suppose delta G is positive, then please remember that the reaction is always non-spontaneous. Then the reaction is non-spontaneous. But sometimes delta G may not be positive, or it may not be negative. It may be equal to 0. Then in that case, the reaction will be in the state of equilibrium. Reaction will be in the state of equilibrium. So what we have determined, that delta G can be used, it is useful in determining the spontaneity of reaction. So with this we come to the close of this topic, that is Gibbs free energy and Gibbs free energy change. Thank you very much.